Okay, I wish that was actually Denmark, but at this time of the year, the general scenery is a bit more like this. And it's also that time of year where people start picking up the gravel bikes again, wanting to do all sorts of crazy shit, ride cyclocross until their legs fall off. And to be fair, I also want to do that. So I've had this idea for a while now, an idea about wanting to go and explore my home country a bit more, seeing all these nice places, riding all the good stuff, uh, and just have fun with it. But I also wanted it to be some kind of project that I could take on, where I could be a bit creative as well. So I guess making a series about finding the best bit of gravel in Denmark while also capturing it seems quite nice. To make it a bit easy on myself, I thought I would just start out easy, which means staying on home turf and going to KALVEBOD FÆLLED, which is like 25 minutes that way. I've prepared a route out there, which I've done probably like a gazillion times, but I know for sure that it's it's very nice and has a lot of really fun parts. KALVEBOD FÆLLED actually has a pretty cool history. During World War II, or the Second World War, when Denmark was under German occupation, the freaking government did this massive land reclamation project, basically just to give people a job, so they wouldn't be sent to Germany to work at their factories.
Arbejdet, der er et led i regeringens beskæftigelsesforanstaltninger, omfatter dels inddæmning af dette område, dels udgravning af et nyt sejlløb til Sydhavnen. Arbejdet begyndte i den nordlige del. Med gravemaskiner uddybe sejlløbet, og den fyld, der graves op, bruges til at bygge dæmningen. Her er en af gravemaskinerne. Den æder sig ned i havbunden ved hjælp af en række gravespande. Og ved hjælp af en vandstrøm sendes den af en lang slisk ud, hvor den skal ligge.
I mean, pretty smart in a way. And then today, all that reclaimed land has become this pretty special natural recreation area, as well as a prime example of primary succession. You see Pinseskoven, the birch forest out there, or the main birch forest out there, is actually the largest birch forest in Denmark. So rest in peace to all the birch allergicers in Copenhagen. The entire area is also a massive breeding area for birds, as well as a favorable spot for migratory birds. But oh my god, there's so much wind out there always. And also there is quite a lot of poop. Horse poop, cow poop, sheep poop,
Nasty poop.
bird poop.
Medium poop.
You just have to be prepared
That's
for
a big,
poop on your bike.
big old pile of poop.
But it's also very nice with all these beautiful animals, to be honest. So if you can just disregard the minor inconveniences of said P word and the air word, the W word, you will have a pretty good time out there. It's fast and it's fun. You have single tracks, you have wider gravel roads. It's very dynamic, the flow is super nice, and it's so close to Copenhagen if you're ever staying here. One day, Prince Christian, this will all be yours. All that the light touches is our kingdom, Prince Christian. And by the way, that's how, I know for a fact, that's how King FÆLLED talks. Okay, so I thought that there had to be some way of scoring this so that I would know for the future what I liked. So that's what I've done. And I kind of made up these arbitrary, or maybe not so well. Maybe this is better. I thought that a metric like flow, even though it's hard to describe, was a pretty good measure. And for me, that's something in like how varied it is, how fun it feels, how dynamic it is. Maybe I'll have a better measurement or a better way of describing it in the future, but for now I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It scratches me in a good way. And then I can't even remember the next one I put down. Oh yeah, okay, so scenery would be the next on my sort of scoring scale, or the next parameter on my scale. To me, it matters so much that the place that you're going is actually beautiful or interesting or has something that you can sort of focus your mind on or experience. And out there's like all these animals. It's a pretty cool history, kind of unique, which I think it's always fun to ride in those kinds of places. For me, it's not undulating enough. There needs to be a bit more elevation and a bit more, like a viewpoint of some kind, I suppose. So I'm only giving it a 7.5 out of 10 in that category. And then, of course, as I also mentioned in the video already, wind plays a big factor, and some places they just have a lot of shelter where you, at any given time you come out there, you will still feel like you're not impacted too much by the wind. But out on KALVEBOD FÆLLED, it's always fucking windy. I think that makes me less inclined to go there. So that's a 3 out of 10 for me. And then I also did this measure just called speed, which I'm not too sure will stay there, but well, let's see how it goes. It's just like the ability to sort of maintain speed, and even though you might not be going that fast, the feeling of speed, which in some places can be there even though you're not going very fast. And there's something about the landscape out in KALVEBOD FÆLLED that quite often makes you feel like you're going quite fast. So that is a 7 out of 10. Lastly, I tried to keep it short with all these scores, but in my head I also wanted to have some sort of metric that were about convenience, or how sort of easy it is for you to get out there. And I think in that regard, KALVEBOD FÆLLED scores quite nicely. I mean, the opposite would be somewhere where you have to travel really far in advance, which can be fine sometimes, but often or not, that's quite important. I mean, I'll probably go to Skagen at one point, or some more remote areas, and those would of course be less convenient and thus perhaps less attractive in a way. But let's see. KALVEBOD FÆLLED is super convenient for at least quite a few people, so I'm scoring it quite highly in that regard, an 8.5. So the total score for KALVEBOD FÆLLED, which I just made up in my mind, is a 7 out of 10, which is quite good as for a starter. Yeah, I quite enjoyed doing this. If you enjoyed it too and thought it was interesting, let me know, and please give it a like or subscribe. And let me know if there is a place here in Denmark that you know that is suitable for the type of thing I'm doing. Please let me know and take care. Bye bye.